right, so we got a 2,000 point game, Death Guard versus the Dark Eldar. We're going to be playing the ITC Championship mission Seize Ground, and the Dark Eldar have chosen their tertiary or secondary objectives to be Recon, Behind Enemy Lines, and Old School. And then we've got Death Guard here. They will be going for Big Game Hunter, Old School, and the Butcher's Bill. Alright, so we're looking at 2,000 points of Drukhari Dark Eldar. And in this list, we've got 3 Archons. We're running a battalion detachment, and it is Cabal of the Black Heart. Our Warlord there, he has the Cabal of the Blackheart Obsession, as well as the Warlord trait, Writ of the Living Muse. We then have a few Raiders there filled up with our Cabalite Warriors. There's a Dark Lance in each of those. We've got a lot of Dark Lances in this, thought that would be fun. We have one unit of Cabalite Warriors that are going to be hoofing it. I think it's about 13 strong there. I believe there's a Shredder pistol in each of them as well. We've got a couple of Ravagers. Again, everything has a bunch of Dark Lances. We've got Incubi. We got Incubi there. They're going to be running in that Venom. We've got a few Scourges to be dropping in. And we got 2 Razor Ring Jet Fighters, again with Dark Lances. So should be having some fun with those. Let's take a look at the Death Guard.
So this is 2,000 points of Death Guard here. We're running a battalion detachment with a Demon Prince as my Demon Prince with Wings as a Warlord, 2 of the Malignant Plague Casters, and then for troops we're running 2 squads of Plague Marines and Rhinos, each one with the Sergeant with a special weapon. Then the third troop choice, we're running a unit of 19 Poxwalkers. And then we are also taking this 5-man Terminator squad. I can't think of what they're called right now. The ones with the scythes. They're just going to be dropping in the backfield, causing some problems. And we got a Demon detachment. This is the Outrider, the one that takes fast attacks. And you'll have to excuse the proxy here, but I'm running 3 3-man squads of the Plague Toads. And we are running, we're running Snaily Snail Man and his Snaily Snail Tree with the snot on it. That's going to give them +2 to their cover out in the open and hopefully help them survive to go grab some objectives.
Alright, so we got ourselves all set up here. We're in the table quarters is what we rolled for deployment. So Death Guard are over there. Dark Eldar went first. They chose to, or they rolled to set up first, deploy first, and anyway, so we're set up. Dark Eldar are planning to go first, but the Death Guard are gonna roll to try to seize. And yeah,
it's a 3.
That is a 3. You can tell what those boils are. It's 3 boils. So Dark Eldar will go first, turn 1. All right, so here is the battle at the end of turn 1 for the Dark Eldar. They were able to go first. Everything started in this pocket over here and then moved up towards the center of the board. I took Recon, so you can see I left some units in each of the corners of the board and was able to pull that one off. All of the Raiders, the Ravagers, they kind of moved up into the Death Guard swamp up here. We've got all these toads kind of hanging out, and put a lot of shots into the toads, was able to put some wounds on them, almost killed 1 unit of them. I did kill a Rhino over here and took out a couple of the Space Marines that were in them, as well as a Rhino back here, and you can see there's a couple Space Marines outside there. And anyways, so as of right now, I've killed 1, held some, and right now looking at Behind Enemy Lines, got the Recon, I got First Strike, so we will see if Death Guard can make a comeback here.
Turn 1 for Chaos. They're out to get some revenge. They lost a few units, or yeah, both Rhinos and some Plague Marines and stuff on turn 1. So we used the Feculent Gnarl Moths so that we could advance and charge these 2 Raiders, killed 1 of them, and the Demon Prince and the Poxwalkers managed to get into combat up here and kill a couple of the Calbite Warriors. Plague Marines charged this Raider, but didn't do a whole lot. Put a couple of wounds on it. The Terminators deep struck down in the backfield here, but failed their charge. They went to command reroll their charge and were denied due to that Dark Eldar stratagem that stops it.
Vex, yeah.
And then we moved the toads onto that flyer since the toads can magically fly, and they attacked it. Put some wounds, but again, not enough to really do significant damage. One thing we did that we're feeling a little ashamed of is we moved our Plague Marines here, knowing that this flyer's minimum move distance is 20 inches, and he's going to have to land right in there. So we're going to kill him without hitting him because we're Nurgle. That's what we do. So, okay, turn one. We scored some points, scored, we'll do an end of turn scoring here.
Okay, so we're at the end of turn 2 for the Dark Eldar, and this game is it's pretty good. It seems to be swinging kind of back and forth, good and bad rolls on both sides. So really what the Dark Eldar did here, they kind of expanded in... No, well, they spanked Guard or Death Guard a little bit maybe, but they expanded into some of the quarters so they can hold some objectives, hold the corners. We did get recon, we got behind enemy lines. We had, I did lose that, Razor Wing. So I did lose the Razor Wing because of the D-bag move of the Space Marines here, but that's okay. This one flew across this way, and we actually were able to drop in some Scourges over here. So we took out 2 characters, the Psychers that were back here. We took out actually a Horticulus that was over here. Those Ravagers shot into it and did D6 damage to him, and that was all she wrote. We moved the Raider, some of these guys over here, dropped some of the Kabalite Warriors off. There's a pretty big melee going on, those Poxwalkers doing a lot of damage and then restoring whatever it is I'm able to kill. So kind of an endless battle there, as I'm sure it's supposed to be fluff-wise. But anyways, it is pretty close. So like I said, I got recon behind enemy lines. I am holding some objectives. I've also killed 4 units. So we're in all okay position for turn 2, but we'll see how it starts to swing back as the Death Guard take their turn.
Death Guard, turn 2. We moved the Plague Marines onto this Ravager. It's been ravaging me all game, I should know. Didn't really do anything. We did the same thing with the Plague Marines on the other side of the table. They hopped on that Ravager, and again, just put a couple of wounds on it. I don't really know why I'm chasing them. We did manage to kill a couple units. We killed the Raider that was over here and wiped out the one of the squads that was here. There's actually 2 of the warrior squads there. Then the Demon Prince managed to make it all the way back over here and is locked down into an epic battle with, what are those guys called again? Incubi? Incubi.
Yeah.
Other than that, the Death Shrouds moved over onto the warriors that were over there and wiped them out. So a pretty decent turn for Death Guard, who were needing one. We definitely took some casualties, but we're coming back. We'll see how it goes.
All right, so we just ended turn 3 for the Dark Eldar, and we're still maintaining the 4 corners, so we're getting recon behind enemy lines. And it was a slugfest. We got a lot of guys in assault. The Dark Eldar, fortunately, are able to kind of jump out in many ways because of the fly, which has been helpful. The Dark Lances have been doing a lot of work. They were able to kill a unit of toads over here. Had to put just about everything into that unit of Space Marines that were behind these crates here. Had just about everything over here shoot into them just to take out like 3 of those Death Guard troops. Took a lot to get them down. I think I killed 1 over here as well. And then we still have this ongoing battle right here. And then the Terminators actually kind of whittling them down with some of those Dark Lance shots as well. And then here, lost all the Incubi. We've got 1 Archon. My Warlord is right over here. And so it's pretty close as far as the score goes, and seems to be swinging back every time someone takes a turn. So good game. We'll move to Death Guard turn 3.
Alright, this is Death Guard turn 3. We ran the Plague Marines down here to sort of do a Hail Mary at trying to take out that Raider for our big game hunter and just to get more kills. Didn't work. He made all his saves. Then we ran the Plague Toads off of Objective 2 all the way up here to the Venom and assaulted it, put a couple wounds on, nothing too big. We did finally finish off the warriors with the Poxwalkers. And the Warlord, the intense Warlord battle finally ended with the Demon Prince victorious thanks to Smite and
Didn't
honestly
kill the Warlord, though.
his... Oh, not the Warlord.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, he killed him though. He couldn't hit him. He had a 2-up invul save. So instead he did Smite and then his Supporting Plate armor did the final mortal wound. So kind of goofy. These Death Shroud Terminators really wanted to charge. They used their spurt gauntlets to kill off the
Calibite Warriors.
Calibite Warriors around him, but then, yeah, they failed their charge and got stuck there. So that was Death Guard turn. It was actually a really good turn considering we don't have a lot left on the board. So fingers crossed.
Top of turn 4 here, and Dark Eldar just went. I guess it's bottom of turn 4, but whatever, who's counting? So this is... shut up. So this is where things are starting to speed up a little bit more. And I was able to get the 4 corners again behind enemy lines. I'm holding 4 objectives just under the 1 to get the bonus for Seize Ground. And wasn't able to kill anything. Got real close. Tried to take out this unit over here, but Death Guard are just so good at shrugging off wounds, even with so many Darklance shots. I did maybe a little bit poorer rolling this round than rounds before. We do have Warlord on Warlord right here, and no wounds to be had from either of them yet. And the Terminators, I was trying to kill them, was only able to put 1 wound on them instead. Failed a reroll that was pretty critical there. So anyways, we're kind of foot slogging through. I'm sure the next 2 rounds will go pretty quick, but it is a fairly close game. I do wish over here that I had charged these Scourges into that guy there and killed the unit. That could be it. So if I lose by 1, I'm calling it here. It's because I made that mistake. So, all right.
This is top of turn 4 for Death Guard. So these Plague Marines are no more. They pushed up at the Warriors and decided they were gonna charge in there and died in Overwatch gloriously. You were so brave. Brings a tear to my eye just thinking about it. These Toads charged up on the Ravager over here and just rolled really crappy, but they're not great at taking out vehicles anyway. Same thing with Poxwalkers spread out here so that they could grab a couple objectives, and they put a couple of wounds on the Venom in the process, so that's cool. The Warlord managed to get 1. He caused the Dark Eldar Warlord to finally miss his 2-up save, so it's not looking good for him. Terminators went and took out that Raider that was over there, so that was a big game hunter, plus it cleared him off the objective. So even though I don't have a lot on the table, it was a really good round, and man, it is close. It's anybody's game.
All right, holy cow, top of turn 5, and sorry, I keep saying top of turn 5. It's the bottom of turn 5, but Dark Eldar's turn. Gonna be sending it back over the Death Guard. It's, not a lot of units right now, and we're so spaced out. There's just not a lot happening at this point. But he is holding a lot of objectives. It is going quicker, so we're about to end it here. But we did put a wound on his Warlord in assault. He did take mine out though, so he's gonna get Slay the Warlord. And
pretty much stuck over here.
Yeah, we stuck pretty much everything in this corner here so that, they're gonna have to foot slog and probably not gonna get there in time in the next turn. But I tried to put everything. I put probably about, I don't know, it seemed like 10 Dark Lance shots into this little... this is actually a frog unit. I know we're kind of proxying here, but anyways, killed 2 of them, and that last one just didn't want to go down, so wasn't able to kill anything, unfortunately. I am holding an objective, so I will get that. I've pretty much maxed out the secondaries at this point, but we're going to go ahead and turn it over to Death Guard, and it is a very close game. Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
So turn 5 for Death Guard was pretty lame, sort of running out of options. Couldn't really move off of, this guy's sitting on objective 2 here, so I couldn't really move him. Same thing with the Poxwalkers. They're sitting here. They're holding 2 objectives right now. So I want to assault something, but I can't pull him off of there. Got my Warlord back here sitting holding 6. I can't pull him off of there. Same with the Terminator. So everything kind of just sat still. The only thing I did was cast Smite on the Razorwing here and put 4 mortal wounds with went off on a 10. So that was cool. But that's it. So hunkering down and seeing if we can outlast the Dark Eldar to the end of the game here.
Okay, so we're at the end of the game here. We went ahead and ended it after the Dark Eldar's last turn. They did kill that last frog, so they were able to get kill 1, and Death Guard were so far back, and they really couldn't move because they were already holding down objectives. They didn't want to move off of them, and there's no point. They wouldn't be able to get to my units over there in time. So they were able to still hold objectives, hold more objectives. I did get the last, I guess, kill for Old School. We both got behind enemy lines, so we both pretty much got close to maxing out our secondaries. It was a really close game. We didn't want to count points because we were just wanting to kind of see what it ended up being in the end because it was so close. So at the end of turn 6, we counted it up, and it was actually 26 to 27. And believe it or not, it was the Death Guard that were able to pull it out. And really, it was because they were better at holding objectives. In the end, they got the bonus, the 1 round of holding 5, where the Dark Eldar really have not been able to do that. So it was a super close game. Came down to the wire for sure. I actually kind of thought the Dark Eldar had it. It was sort of a surprise. So yeah, it was a good game, really close game. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, my thoughts, I was impressed with how hard the Dark Eldar shoot. Like, if they're shooting multi-wound models, like, just kiss them goodbye.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, those toads are 4 wounds, and they were getting picked up from, 1 shot where they missed a feel no pain.
Right.
But as far as gameplay, yeah, they're slow. They're able to take advantage of some assault moves to go a little quicker. The Gnarl Maw was cool because it allowed those toads to advance and to charge. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Man, it was a tough game. It was really, really close. I got down to the end there, and I had like no mobility.
Yeah.
Couldn't really do anything. But was already sitting on the objectives and weren't really dying. So. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, there were definitely some surprises to me. I don't really play Dark Eldar, so it was fun getting to play them. I equipped everything essentially with Dark Lances, and yeah, they did a lot of work, particularly when you roll well with those. I mean, they'll just evaporate a heavy wound model. But, there were some surprises in there. Like, I didn't realize the Forge World frogs could fly, and like when they jumped up and hit my flyer, I was a little surprised by that, and didn't think that was very legitimate, but they did hop. Yeah, you'd think they'd hop right into the engines and die, but no. So anyways, but yeah, it was a good game, and I think, play these Dark Eldar a bit more, get better and kind of more used to how they play, but it was a good one. All right, well, good game, man.
Yeah.